on my computer. There we go. And make sure my PowerPoint's already here to go. And share a screen. And boom, boom. There we go. All right. Well, I want to welcome all of you and thank all of you for being here. Welcome to the How to Attract High Quality Clients from LinkedIn in November 2023. Some exciting news I'll be sharing with you about LinkedIn in a few seconds here. It's really crazy to think that finally, after all this time, LinkedIn has cracked 1 billion people, and that's pretty amazing. So, all right. So, the biggest thing I find when I'm doing these webinars is that, we've all been on these kind of things where no one says nothing at all. No one types in the chat box. So I'd appreciate very, very much from all of you. If I ask a question, take 2 seconds to type a Y or an N in the chat box here. So the first question is, LinkedIn can be very confusing for most people. That's why many of you are probably on here to find out more information about LinkedIn. If you believe LinkedIn is confusing or not confusing for you, you got it down pat, just type a Y and N into the chat box here. So I'll not be sharing the slides, Adrian, sorry, but I will be sharing the replay here. No, okay, Christine, that's awesome, that's great. Anybody else think LinkedIn is confusing? Okay, all right, yes, yes. And I find that's one of the biggest things my clients come to me when they come to me and they hire me for my services, because there's so many things happening on LinkedIn. It's changing all the time, has changed a lot. Yeah, for sure, definitely. Yes, okay, well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, bottom of my heart. It makes these things go much, much better if you actually participate. So, why am I qualified to teach you? Well, I feel I'm qualified to teach you because I've been doing this like for 25 years. I've been in digital marketing, website design, 13 plus years as a LinkedIn trainer. I've helped my clients generate millions, not thousands, but millions of dollars in sales over the last 30 plus years. Great information you can use today. Learn how to leverage LinkedIn's amazing, robust database for your business. And don't believe me, one of the biggest things I tell my clients, write this down as an action item on your pad of paper, get more recommendations. I call it the credibility hump. And we all know that, if anybody's gone onto Amazon and bought something recently, how many of us looked at reviews? I sure have. Make sure I'm actually making the right choice. The recommendations are part of what I call the credibility hump. I have 143 right now on my profile. Make sure you have just, so many recommendations that people go, oh yeah, this person has it together, and hopefully that's why a lot of you are here. Some cool recommendations. I got one guy, Freddie Ravel, as a client, only white guy ever in Earth, Wind, and Fire. One of my claim to fames over here. So why LinkedIn? Launched in 2003 by Reid Hoffman, Alan Blue, and CEO Jeff Weiner. Acquired by Microsoft for a massive payout in 2016. Imagine doing that many years, 13 years in your business, and then selling it for 26 billion to somebody, and then have them stay on and do absolutely amazing, per diem coming in. 1 billion users on LinkedIn as of this month. 170 million plus users in North America alone. US, Canada, India, and Brazil, UK have the highest number of users. And a very special item is the fact that LinkedIn probably has the highest wealth per capita per member over all the other social media platforms. LinkedIn, 44% of LinkedIn users earn more than 80K per year, which means the people on LinkedIn have the money to buy your services, right? And I looked at this morning. LinkedIn hits 1 billion members, adds AI features for job seekers. But the biggest takeaway is now there are over 1 billion people on LinkedIn, which for me makes this the #1 social media website you can go on to get new clients, because #1 is always coming up. It's not like Facebook where you see a funny picture of someone's dog eating something on the ground. That's weird. It's about business. Even though we see a lot of things about political stuff, what's happening with the Israel-Hamas war right now, Ukraine and Russia on LinkedIn, social things happening on LinkedIn. Still, it's a lot of business stuff, right? And you can really learn to shine on LinkedIn. You can build a massive following. I'll show you one person on LinkedIn who has built a following of, give me 1 second, guys. Of course, this happens during a webinar. 1 second, okay? Of course, you're coming through my webinar here, man. Let me spin it really fast over here because I got a thing happening right now. There you go. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye. Ugh. Sorry about that. I knew it was coming today, but it always seems to come when you're doing something like this, the wonderful things of working from your office at home. So, does this sound familiar as far as your problems you might be having and the reason you're here to learn about how you can actually leverage LinkedIn a little bit better? No more low-hanging fruit in your business. Your calendar isn't as full as you want it to be. Burning time trying to get meetings, or the people you do talk to are just tire kickers and not serious. So I'm just going to actually, give me a second here. I'm going to mute all people on here. There we go here. Perfect. Just want to make sure there's no background sounds here happening. So I believe personally on LinkedIn for 2023, especially coming up 2024, which is only what, a month and a half, 2 months away now. What is the winning strategy? I've run so many campaigns. I've run hundreds campaigns for my clients, and eventually leads to sales meetings and everything else. What is the winning strategy for 2023, 2024? And I believe it comes around the 4 pillars of success on LinkedIn. You might want to write this down for yourself, take a screenshot possibly. Once again, coming out in the recording, so you don't want to write it down, no problem at all. But the biggest thing, number one, is does your profile convert? Does your profile convince your prospects that you're the right person? Because let's face it, if you can type in a thing on LinkedIn here, I'll show you quickly. That's why I didn't do this a full screen on PowerPoint here. But let's say a type accountant on LinkedIn, right? And let's say I just go to whatever, North America, go to people here, go to USA and Canada, right? Locations, just Canada and United States alone. So in Canada and the US, there are 1.62 million results on LinkedIn. So the biggest thing is, how do you stand out? Once again, the first thing is your profile. Does it convince people you're the right one? Do you have a phenomenal, uh, cover banner? Is your headshot looking professional? I'll go on to go over all this stuff here and show you actual examples in a second. But if your profile looks terrible, no one's going to take the next step in hiring you unless you have like 100,000 people on LinkedIn and you don't really care because your business just rolls over by itself. I've seen that beforehand. I've seen people like terrible headshots, no cover banner, but they have like 100,000 connections on LinkedIn because maybe they're a keynote speaker, and people just connect with them. Just do that. But for the most of us, like you and me, a phenomenal profile is key, and I'll go over that in a second. Consistency in building your list on LinkedIn by always adding new followers and new connections. And then, are you actually building relationships? We've seen too much of this on LinkedIn where people send you spammy sales messages all the time on LinkedIn, and that's all they do, but they don't provide any value. So, are you building relationships? Write it down here. Are you building relationships and are providing value? Do you have an authentic content marketing and content engagement strategy? And what I mean by that is, are you going onto LinkedIn? Are you in your content, right? That gives people a relationship to you. I can't tell you how many times I've seen this on LinkedIn. People come to one of my Zoom meetings. Got a couple of people here about to become my clients hopefully very soon. They come to Zoom meetings and they say to me, Alan, I feel like I know you. Um, because of the fact I've seen your videos, I've seen you talking in your videos. Yeah, that once again builds over the credibility hump. And then last thing is, out of the 1 billion people on LinkedIn, do you know that there are only about 10 million people using LinkedIn event platform? What is that? Like 1% of people using LinkedIn event platform. And so that's a great thing to hear because it gives you, right, the possibility of leaping over your competitors. Because if you start using LinkedIn event platform doing these kind of webinars like I do, on LinkedIn on a regular basis, then you can do something they're not doing. And that's one of my key strategies. Write it down for yourself on LinkedIn. What can I do on LinkedIn that no one else is doing in my industry? That's why I'm always thinking about my clients. People hire me because I'm always thinking, what can I do for them, either for content marketing or strategies or messaging or offers? What can I do differently on LinkedIn that no one else in my circle is doing, right? So it starts with your profile. Your profile can't be an online business card, right? It's got to be a marketing tool that expands your credibility and authority. How do you stand out from your competition? How do you create engaging content with ChatGPT necessarily? Like I'll show you that today also. People often choose to accept or reject your connection on your headshot and banner from my network tabs. Let's just go there for a second and see what I'm talking about. My network, open link new tab. Here we go. So here's all my 467 people that have sent me connection requests. I don't accept very many of them because now I'm almost at the 30,000 on myself. So, you know, uh, are you smiling, right? Are you in your winter coat here? And right? So, are you is your face hidden, right? Do you look like, and we've seen this beforehand, do you look like a serial killer, right? So I've seen that before myself on LinkedIn. So all the different things happening. Do you have a engagement, a great, a great thing on LinkedIn? I'm just trying to go down my screen here. Are you promoting your events on LinkedIn? Sorry, just got some background noise. So I'm just going to mute everybody again on LinkedIn. There he goes here. And I'll mute you afterwards when we have a Q&A at the end. So next, the first thing is your cover banner and your photo. Everybody's heard the saying, you only get one chance to make a first impression. So does your cover banner and does your photo say, hey, I'm the gal, I'm the guy, I'm the person you need to talk to on LinkedIn based upon the fact that, you want to hire the best person for the job, right? So, here is what I see a lot on LinkedIn. I'm sure you guys see this also. No headshot, right? So I'm just going to keep on admitting people. People keep coming in here. Do you have a great headshot, not a picture of a house or a logo for your business? Do you have a cover banner, not this over here? So what's better, this or something like this over here, right? Phenomenal cover banners really make a big difference in what people think about, who you are and what you do, right? Look at this one here for Mary Vivian, smiling, friendly, right? Ashley Jones, smiling, friendly. This cool one by Jenny Perry. I love this one over here. I made this one for Jenny a long time ago. Slices of her, gorgeous lady, nice person, right? So all these different things, right? Next is your headshot, right? Do you have a professional headshot? If you're an accountant, if you're a lawyer, if you're a business professional, if you're B2B, you want to look the part. You want to make sure people look at you and go, not only, are you wearing your suit and tie like I am in my headshot, but are you smiling, right? And that's so important because we've all been there beforehand. You meet someone at a networking meeting and they're not smiling, they don't look friendly, they look grumpy, and you avoid like the plague, right? But if you run a resort business, let's say like a place in Mexico, a hotel somewhere, Hawaiian shirt, Mai Tai, right? So very, very important. You have the right kind of headshot. You don't need to take a professional, sorry to all the photographers out there, but you don't need to take a professional, shoot with a photographer. All you need to do is nowadays our cell phone cameras take phenomenal high definition headshot. When people come to me and I'm working with them in the very beginning, I say, take 24 headshots. Don't just take one headshot and go, okay, I'm done. Make sure your phone's turned sideways for landscape so you get a good wide headshot. You can cut it out afterwards. You can green screen it possibly. There are systems out there to take your background out of your headshot and then put a new one on there. You can see some cool headshots here. But the biggest factor in all these headshots, right? People are smiling. The next thing is something called LinkedIn SEO. Let's put this over here for a second. And move this on here like this here, profile strength. LinkedIn will even tell you what your profile strength as you scroll down on your profile. Look what happens when I scroll down on my profile, right? Here's my profile here, and I scroll down, and it gives me all these things over here that pop up. Add profile section. If you don't have your profile complete to All-Star, it'll tell you what to do. It'll tell you what section to fill out. Very, very important. So make sure that you have a not only a great headshot and a great banner, but you're using something called LinkedIn SEO. SEO stands for search engine optimization, usually a term for website designers for Google to make sure you get ranked on page 1 of Google. But on LinkedIn, it's putting the key phrases that you want people to find you necessarily, like on Google. So if I want to be found for LinkedIn lead generation expert, what do I have in my headshot and my profile over here? The first phrase on my banner or my title here is LinkedIn lead generation expert. That's LinkedIn SEO. I want to be found on the key phrases that people are looking for me on LinkedIn, because if I do all the stuff properly, I will see 132% increase in profile views. I will get a 3 times the number of search appearances. Also, LinkedIn shows you once again what your percentage of your profile. It'll say All-Star or something else on your profile to let you know how complete your profile is and if you're All-Star or not yet. So your headline, don't put you're the CEO of your company, don't make it too general, and write this down for yourselves. The 4 things people want to know when they come to your profile on LinkedIn and look at your cover banner are: who are you? What do you do? What can you do for me? And the biggest one is, why should I use your services as opposed to the hundreds or thousands of other people on LinkedIn who do exactly the same thing you do? Like I said beforehand, that search with the accountant on LinkedIn, right? 1.62 million accountants on LinkedIn. Why you, right? And look at these headlines here, right? Staff accountant, accountant, corporate accountant at Northview, corporate accountant. This is their headline on LinkedIn. So, what does that tell me, right? It doesn't say accountant that can show you the strategies that'll save you 25% or more on your tax returns, right? Doesn't say accountant with 25 years experience can find hidden gems in your return that'll save you tons of money and help you plan for your retirement 10 years earlier than anybody else could possibly do those things, right? People want to know the why. Like, why should I hire you? So why should you hire me, right? Because I've been doing this for 25 plus years, because I've been a LinkedIn trainer for 13 plus years. All the things I have on my LinkedIn profile here, we help businesses improve the lead generation, sales development. How would you like 5 to 15 new sales calls every single week in your calendar, right? I do content marketing and boosting, and that's very important also. We'll talk about that in a second. Like, why you? So you really need to think. And if you don't know the answer yourself, because I find, I before I started doing all this stuff over here, I was in coaching, fitness coaching, life coaching, business coaching also. We all have trouble seeing our own forest or our own trees, right? So ask your wife or husband, ask your friends or family, ask your coworkers, especially ask your clients. Another survey. Why me? Why do you like working with me? What do you feel I do differently than anybody else does? Why did you choose me as the person who does X service for you, right? Because that's the gold that usually no one ever asks their client. Why you? Write it down for yourself, right? The next thing for LinkedIn SEO is your about section. 2,000 characters on your about section to help you, once again, describe to people why they should choose you on LinkedIn. Here's my about section over here, right? See more, right? Couple of cool emojis on there, right? So emojis can go on your about section, right? My at LinkedIn SEO, LinkedIn lead generation expert, all the things that are important to do on LinkedIn. The challenge is doing it yourself. It's always easier for you to give someone else business or relationship advice. when it comes to looking at ourselves personally, that's why I have coaches or have had coaches in the past also who help me see through the forest and the trees. That's why I feel I'm so qualified for helping my clients, because not only do I know LinkedIn, I live, breathe, and work LinkedIn, 6, 7 hours a day, every single day, is I can see past all the things. I can pull that information from my clients as to why they do something differently than their competitors do. I can communicate that into their summaries, right? So your summary, once again, is not just your job description. Remember, benefit, how many years you've worked for your business, what degrees you have, those are features. But what about the benefits of working with you, right? And do you have case studies, testimonials? Let's go here for a second. Content marketing and boosting. I'll go home. Do you have case studies and testimonials, but not just written ones? I have 12 case studies or testimonials on the home page of my website. If you're not sure if I'm the right person to you to help you with LinkedIn, here in the chat box, here's a website. You can go in there also, right? Yeah, and someone said background matters as well. Very, very important, Michael. But background isn't the only thing people want to know. They want to know mostly still, right? Background is, are you qualified? The kicker is, though, what can you do for me? What kind of results will I get on your program? What kind of money can I make with you, right? What to do on your headline. Once again, LinkedIn lead generation expert, turn founders, staff members, and LinkedIn experts that are generating massive revenue for their organization, right? All the things. Also, a little cool thing you can do on your LinkedIn profile. And if you go to my profile on LinkedIn, here it is again, copy and chat box, go on my profile for a second. I can't see it because I'm logged in my profile, but you can see it yourselves over here where the little pencil icon. Ring my bell. Connect with me as your first connection. Send me a connection request. Ring my bell. It'll give you all of the content marketing on a regular basis I do for myself. And I do a lot of content marketing around how to do LinkedIn things, how to work on LinkedIn, videos that show you how to do things, right? Here's a video I just did about content marketing. So once again, video creation
is going to be so important in 2024. Let's face it, so many people have caught on to the fact that if you send out thousands of spammy messages on LinkedIn, you might not be getting the same results you did maybe even 2 years ago. Content.
So, and what kind of impressions do I get? What kind of engagement do I get? 508 likes, 20 comments, and so far 1,500 impressions of this one post on LinkedIn. This is called inbound marketing. Outbound marketing is sending people messages on LinkedIn. And also I see a lot of this, people coming to me and telling me, I'm sending out connection requests on LinkedIn. People are accepting my connection requests on LinkedIn. When I go to message them, like nothing happens, like cricket chirping, right? So that's what I help people do. I figure out what messages should you be sending on LinkedIn that addresses people's pain points, that it solves their problems, right? And then make sure they have the right terminology in the messages for the target audience. All those things are key to making sure that you address the pain points of your potential clients on LinkedIn. So all these things. And I try to put emojis in my videos, in my posts on LinkedIn, because, and then I call it having a little sizzle with your steak, right? People want to be entertained. They want something funny. So I try to put some funny videos on there. Just put this actually.
Content creation is key. That's why moving forward, it's so important you show people.
I'm not sure why that popped up there again like that, but here's a funny little video I did the other day for Halloween. Right? Try to have some fun. Are you having fun on LinkedIn also?
Hey LinkedIn family, it's not your typical day on the professional network, is it? Well, it's almost Halloween, and guess what? I've got a transformation in store for you today. You might know me as a LinkedIn lead generation expert, but today I'm transforming into something a bit different. Are you ready?
Something a little fun, right? A little different. Once again, what can you do differently on LinkedIn that nobody else is doing on LinkedIn to get you more followers, more connections, more people looking at your LinkedIn profile that will help you get actual clients? Next thing we talk about is your experiences, and having more LinkedIn SEO in your experience section is also very important. Another question I get on a regular basis is, Alan, I do like 5 different businesses or 5 different things. Should I have 5 different profiles on LinkedIn? Right? The answer is no, absolutely no. LinkedIn could possibly shut down all your profiles, right, and give you just kick you off the platform, put you in LinkedIn jail, right? So no, you just want to have multiple experiences on your LinkedIn profile, and you can actually sort them. So if I go back to my profile here for a second on LinkedIn, look at my experiences, right? You can click on the pencil icon, and as you possibly, let's say, promote other things on LinkedIn, you can just drag your experiences up and down on your profile, reorder them, so that when you're doing your prospecting or doing your marketing on LinkedIn, your top experience that you're talking about in your messaging at that current time will be on top of your profile. So once again, do not create multiple profiles on LinkedIn, just create multiple experiences. LinkedIn rules, they might delete your profile altogether, right? So very, very important. Next thing is LinkedIn profile makeovers, right? Here's some examples of what you could possibly do with your profile on LinkedIn, right? I've done these profiles for people. Beforehand, Steve was getting very little engagement. Once again, getting people to accept his connection request, but he wasn't smiling. He had no cover banner. The picture he had of his headshot was dark, right? So, and then afterwards, we really started to niche into what would be the best way of presenting what he can do that's different on LinkedIn through his banner, through his about section, through his his experience section over here, and he started getting that's a ton of people actually engaging with him. He didn't really even have a company page. Look at where it says Lord and Lentini on the top right hand side, right under the message box over here. Nothing is grayed out, and then we created a company page for him. So here's that one over there. Here's this one for David, who creates a line of drinks you can go to the grocery store, the variety store for, that'll help you with hangovers. Took too much cannabis, it'll help you come down right away. Too much mushroom, took it down right away. Too much alcohol, come down right away, right? So these are the things here. But look at his before shot, his headshot. His head's cut off. He's kind of smiling there, pretty dark though. Much clearer headshot afterwards. Different banner totally. Next one is Sharon. Runs a very large construction company in San Francisco. She wanted to look professional on LinkedIn. Great headshot, great banner, great information as what she does and why people should talk to her and use her. So, very, very important that you have all these things done for yourself on your profile. And if you need help doing it, just contact me. I'd be happy to help you also. The company page. I'm always asked, do I need a company page? The answer is yes, you need a company page. Mostly, though, because it's expected. If you're not running a large organization, your company page probably won't get much engagement, but it looks professional. It's like, someone saying, what your website is, and you're going, I don't have a website. Oh, okay. No website. How can I find out more about you, who you are and what you do? And can I trust you? So all these different things, headshot, cover banner, a headline that explains, why you. All these things are, the credibility hump. One more checkbox off going, the I's dotted, T's crossed, right? So all these things are very, very important. Here's some samples of great professional headlines on LinkedIn. I'll pop this in the chat box so you can go there if you want to. And having a great professional headline is very, very important. And there are things you can do, like using ChatGPT, which I'll show you in a few minutes here, on LinkedIn to do that. Another thing is, how do I rank on LinkedIn? So I'm going to put this one into the chat box also. I want all of you to click on this link and type your score that you find in the chat box over here. And I'll tell you what it means exactly. So right now, my score is 86. Right? So just go to the link here for a second and please once again participate. Just type your score in the chat box over here. I'll be waiting to move on here until people start putting in there. 51. Keep on going. Come on, someone. Thank you, Michael, so much. 73. That's great, Adrian. Awesome. Good job. 67. Keep on going, Jodine. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Come on, people. Just type your score in there. Let's see where you are. Please, please, please. Type your score. One more person, we'll move on. Just one more person do it. Come on. You can do it. Come on. One more person. Type your score in there. Anybody? Somebody? No? Okay. Too bad. So what is your SSI score? It's called your social selling index. And it can give you insight onto LinkedIn on how well you're doing with establishing your professional brand, finding the right people to network and market with, engaging with insight, and building relationships on LinkedIn. As you can see, I'm doing great on the first two. I'm doing okay on the middle two there. And if you are doing great on your SSI score and your SSI score, let's say even above 70, then you're doing a pretty good job. Above 80 is amazing, right? And what that does also is the higher SSI score, I'll be answering your questions in the chat box afterwards. Your higher SSI score, the more times you'll actually appear in the results box over here, right? So all these different things here. So why are people showing up here in the very top, right? Because they've done several things correctly on their profile on LinkedIn, and LinkedIn is rewarding them by putting them at the top of the search results. So those are one of the things. A good way, write this down for yourself. A good way of increasing your SSI score is to actually engage on other people's posts. Comment, like, and share other people's posts will actually increase your SSI score because it'll engaging with insight is this third one here. That's what it'll do by raising that one here, and that's probably one of the hardest ones to get up on LinkedIn is the engage with insight score there. That's what we're going to talk about, which I'm a firm believer. I showed you that video on content marketing. I think content marketing is going to be one of the key factors, probably of all the things you can do on LinkedIn to get people to buy from you or get people to engage with you. I think content marketing will probably be around 25 to 40% of that whole formula. Content marketing is going to be so important in 2024, especially. It shows you're the absolute authority in your industry. And by posting articles and posts, I recommend, one article per week, maybe one video per week, and 2 or 3 posts a week. I don't recommend posting every single day because it doesn't give the algorithm a chance to actually filter through the first post, and then you're posting the tomorrow. People are still engaging with the first post you posted yesterday. You want to probably take at least a day between posts, but I like posting probably 2-3 times a week, and probably one of my posts will be a video. Maybe I'll do 2 posts, static posts, and the video for myself. And once again, to engage or increase your SSI score, make sure you're commenting on other people's posts and articles. If you're trying to go after a big fish on LinkedIn, by engaging with their content on a regular basis, you'll get on their radar. That's a great way of doing it. It's a lot of time and effort, but if you want to land a big account on LinkedIn, that's a great way of doing it. So video is the most important kind of content, I think, to do. And now let's go to my chat GPT, which will be, we can just put on here. Let's go to my chat. Where is the thing here? Give me 1 second. I'm just going to pop it on to my thing over here and then just grab the URL because I find that Chrome for some reason is running a lot slower than Edge here. Okay, so we go here. Okay, so if you find that it's really hard to create content or create the wording on posts, this can be a lifesaver. So anybody on the webinar right now, give me a topic I can write a post about. Put in any topic on LinkedIn. I'll answer your question, Adrian, in a few minutes. So anybody on the meeting, give me a topic to write an article or post about. Accounting or anything else at all. Marketing, medical tourism. Okay, so thank you, Ed. Appreciate it. So let's take medical tourism here. Let's go. I'm just gonna move my thing over here. Hide meeting paddle. So write me a post on medical tourism. Sorry, in the tone. Sorry, let's stop jumping into the thing here. In the tone of professional and friendly, because you got to become really good at the prompts on the ChatGPT for LinkedIn. Okay, are you ready? It's gonna blow you away. Just look at that. Wow, isn't that incredible? Look at that. I wrote a well-worded post on medical tourism that, number one, you can read properly. It's not like something for SEO on Google where you go and read it and it doesn't make sense at all. It makes sense. It's well written, right? So I'll just pop this into the chat box on Zoom so you can just pick it up if you want to for yourself there. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, too long, right? Well, you know what? I'll have to send it to you afterwards there if you want it. Just I'll save it on my thing here. I'll give it to you afterward if you want to, Adrian. But yeah, look at that. You can do so much with this, and believe me, after creating, spending hours and hours and hours creating my videos for my clients, having this tool available to me is absolutely phenomenal. And I said, let's change this to 2024, okay? Because it's going to be more important. And having you in your videos is also very important because once again, people will come to you and say, you know what, Adrian, Stevens, Stu, Bill, I've seen you in your videos. I feel like I know you. So here's some of my things I've created on LinkedIn.
You're not using LinkedIn event platform and it's costing you money. The LinkedIn event platform, what is it? In January 2020,
that's back from January of 2020. Here's another one here.
I'm back, and today I'm going to tell you how to do a proper search on LinkedIn for the best results.
So leading with great information, leading with authority, leading with help, right? Here's a video that I'll put up again pretty soon. But if someone you know or yourself have been put in LinkedIn jail, a LinkedIn account restriction, there are several kind. Sometimes it's the one where you try logging in your account and you can't see your account at all. But sometimes this has been done to me, it drives me crazy because I didn't know it was happening even for a while, is you can go into your account, but no one else can see your account. This is when I created a fun video I created here.
Help, 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 help. I've been put in LinkedIn jail and I can't get out. Have you been put in LinkedIn jail and now?
So those are the things you need to do on LinkedIn on a regular basis. And some people say, well, you know what, I'm not great at content marketing. Well, you know, I actually have a content marketing product here. Let me show you here. I'll just put this in the chat box. I just recently released it because I found so many of my clients didn't need LinkedIn lead generation, but they needed the great content on a regular basis. And I think this one will solve that problem for you if you want someone else to do it for you and pull that great information, but create your videos for you, create your content for you. So that's you know, something you got to need to do in LinkedIn. If you're creating content on LinkedIn and you don't believe that can make a big difference, you don't believe, content creation or content marketing on LinkedIn helps, look at this. 1,300 likes, 380 comments, 26,499 views, 27,000 views, 43,000 views. These are actual screenshots from actual content on LinkedIn. So imagine not only having a outbound marketing plan for yourself where you're sending messages to people on LinkedIn, it's, getting new connections on LinkedIn all the time, but people are also uh, messaging you on LinkedIn saying, I need to hire you. You're solving a problem for me. Right? I saw your video on this, and that's that problem I have. Let's talk. I had a person on a Zoom call the other day with me who, I was talking to about being authentic on LinkedIn and about creating content for them and about, doing all this stuff here, lead generation. And they said, you know what? We're done. Here's my credit card number. Right on the not we're on the first call. I didn't even ask them to be my client yet, and they just said yes because they saw one of my videos on the exact problem they were facing on LinkedIn, and they contacted me. And then here's another great example. This is going to blow you away on LinkedIn of what great content marketing can do for you as far as inbound. Look up this lady, Bridget Hassian. She's a client of, or a connection of mine. I'm one of her few 30,000 connections when she has over 4 million, that's an M with million, over 4 million followers now. So if you don't think content marketing can be a big difference for you on LinkedIn, then you're sadly mistaken, my friends. Content marketing is part of one of the keys, 25 to 40% of the whole formula on LinkedIn to get engagement, to get new clients, to get people to like, know, and follow you. So turning your profile from dull to dynamic by adding rich media. What the heck does that mean even? So rich media is this over here. Going back to my profile on LinkedIn, going back over one page over here, and then going here. So here is my content marketing. Here's my rich media. I have tons of videos here that people look at. Even have some cool Pixar style videos, which is once again, what can you do differently on LinkedIn no one else is doing? So all these different things on LinkedIn by having rich media on your profile, it turns your profile from dull to dynamic, right? And you've seen people who have none of this stuff on their profiles and goes, are they the right person? Do they know what they're talking about, right? Do they have all these, recommendations? 143 so far. I'll be getting a couple of new ones later on this week. But are you consistently asking your clients or your coworkers or people who know you for recommendations? So very, very important. You need to do this on a regular basis, and most people are not doing that, right? Next thing is sending people a sales message, a spammy sales message, either in the connection message or immediately after they click on the yes button. They're trying to sell you something. Don't do that. In fact, I wrote an article on here. It's here. Still on Google, on top of Google here. Stop trying to get me into bed on the first date. Ladies, I'm sure you can appreciate this. And LinkedIn. Usually it just pops up here for LinkedIn, but if I type LinkedIn over here, and basically the article just, tells you about LinkedIn, and stop sending those, those spammy sales messages. So here's the article on chat box here. If I want to read something really cool that tells you about what not to do on LinkedIn, that will tell you what not to do on LinkedIn. Where we are here. Messaging people that don't want to be sold to, right? Here's one of those examples in February. Here is a connection message this guy sent me, right? From somewhere in Russia or something else like that. People want to be helped out on LinkedIn. I'm so sincere about that. Do not try to sell somebody on your connection message, not try to sell somebody on the first message that you send to them once they accept your connection message. Lead with value. Write this down. Lead with value. What can you do to help them out for free? The more free stuff you can do for people on LinkedIn, the more people will gravitate to you to become your client, right? Now there's a billion people on LinkedIn, right? Events on LinkedIn are so important. Are you doing events on LinkedIn on a regular basis? I do one of these events probably every single month on LinkedIn, and try to lead with value, right? Try to give people as much value as I possibly ask you to cram into 1 hour on LinkedIn, right? And most people are not doing this at all. And I help people on my programs to actually create their events, help them with their PowerPoints, help them with absolutely everything you can think of. So what can I do to help you on LinkedIn for your lead generation and marketing? Well, the first problem is, once again, do you have a system for creating leads? Right? Most people don't have a system. They don't have anything formalized and they're not doing things on a regular basis. They're doing things themselves. At what point in time do you say, I must concentrate on business and let somebody else get the leads for me? Do you have a warm-up system? Are you constantly messaging people on LinkedIn? The first thing I ask my clients when they become my clients on LinkedIn is, what are you doing to warm people up, to get people top of mind? Because the numbers are, and write this down for yourself. I'll probably try to in the chat box here. Um, yeah, I know, Adrian. Yeah, 1 to 3% of people on LinkedIn who see a sales message will want your product. So you're sending out 1,000 things, messages on LinkedIn. Maybe 1 to 3% people will want your thing right now, and they might connect with you to see what you have to offer. 7% of people want your offering within the now and next 2 weeks. They're thinking about it. They're on the market. They're doing research right now, right? 30% of people on LinkedIn might want your product in the next 2 weeks to 6 months. 30% will possibly want your product in the next, write that down properly. 30%. We'll want it maybe 6 months to a year, right? And then the last 30% will never want your stuff at all. They'll tell you to F off. They'll tell you to no thank you, no, right? So 97%, 97% of marketers and companies and people are going after that 1 to 3% of the market, while the rest of the people out there are ignoring the 67% who might want your stuff between now and a year from now. If you don't have a ongoing system of sending messages to all your LinkedIn connections, I've rarely had anybody who become my client tell me, oh yeah, I message all my LinkedIn connections, all my 30,000 or 5,000 or 10,000 people once a year to see if they're interested in working with me, right? No one's talking about joint venturing or collaboration. I'm always open to joint venturing and collaboration on LinkedIn. If you think you and I can work on LinkedIn together, send me a message, send me a connection request. I'll talk about how we can joint venture or collaborate together. And number three, and probably the biggest one, is at one point in time, you have someone do it for you, right? I wouldn't try to fix my own car on the big things. I wouldn't try to fix my own air conditioner. My car broke down probably about 4 months ago. My engine just stopped, or my transmission just stopped. I had to have a full transmission replacement. Thank God it was under warranty. $15,000 for a transmission on a van to put a new transmission in, they told me. But I wouldn't try to do it myself ever, right? I've tried to, for all the wives out there, how many husbands have tried fixing themselves? I tried to fix my washing machine about a year ago, and I did fix it, and it worked for I think 3 months, and then broke down again. So I spent so much time and effort doing it. So at what point in time you have someone doing it yourself? What point in time do you have someone helping you with your content marketing and your appointment booking and your events on LinkedIn and creating the authority? Doing it yourself. So three mistakes. So what do you need to do on LinkedIn nowadays? You need to have a phenomenal profile. You need to create more new connections and have a constant new stream of connections or followers coming in. You need to do content marketing, but only content marketing, but content boosting, right? We've all seen content on LinkedIn that gets no engagement. So here is LinkedIn. Here is the, let's go to the LinkedIn feed, right? No likes and no comments, right? Um, uh, 32, nine comments, 13 reposts, right? Once again, a lot of Ukraine and Israel things happening on there. But on the majority of people on LinkedIn, when you go through the LinkedIn thing over here, no likes, no comments, right? 2 likes over here, right? If you don't get likes and comments and shares within 90 minutes of posting on LinkedIn, the algorithm says your stuff is not worthy of being on LinkedIn or no one cares about it and will shrink your audience of your first connections and followers to 10%. So you have 5,000 followers and connections on LinkedIn and you're not getting any engagement on your content, then LinkedIn shrinks your audience of who will see it. They'd only actually send it out to 500 of those people randomly. But conversely, if you get great connection or great engagement on your content, which I do for my clients also, then LinkedIn will not only send out your content to all of your first connections, but will send it to your second and third connections. So on a regular basis, I'm hoping that 100,000 people see my stuff when I post it on LinkedIn. The right kind of conversations, right? If you're in a situation where you're getting connections on LinkedIn, but then you message people about your services and no one replies at all, you have the wrong kind of message and the wrong kind of conversation. You need a meaningful conversation on LinkedIn that will lead to people saying yes to you through your meetings, right? Are you getting conversions? Are you converting your clients, followers, and referrals into leads and sales, right? And once again, the biggest thing I see on people on LinkedIn marketing and lead generation is they're not thinking about, well, not only should I be looking for the end user client, but I should be looking for the joint venture partner and collaborators who will send people to me. And do you have a plan and system? Do you have a clear plan of action that you're implementing every single day? I probably save my clients 20 hours of time on LinkedIn every single week by doing it for them so they can concentrate on their own business, right? And do you need more leads, right? And so a customized prescription of leads means to sales, time is money, your time is important. You need to be strategic and effective and not doing everything yourself, doing the right things consistently yourself. Are you doing that? You have a plan of action, right? Are all your I's dotted and T's crossed? All the things I talked about on your profile, are all those things done? Right? Here's a couple of people I've worked with. David Crane closed $85,000 sale on LinkedIn within the first month of working with me. This guy over here, Tony Madsen, right, closed $30 million. He's has an architectural woodworking. Well, I got him a massive contract with a couple of home builders for his in-house built things. Right, I think he got a $12 million contract, and he got a $6 million contract, and he got a $10 million contract from a bunch of different home builders. So, right, what do you need from LinkedIn? How to create a amazing, outstanding converting profile. Someone to help you copyright your about section. What kind of messaging you should be sending out? What kind of automation should you be using on your profile? Should you be using paid memberships on LinkedIn? There are 4 kinds of paid memberships on LinkedIn. If you're serious about doing marketing and lead generation on LinkedIn, you absolutely need a paid membership. But which one is for you, right? I do in-depth information about that. There's little known features on LinkedIn that I found, especially one that converts into phenomenal engagement, right? Next thing is why you're getting people accepting your connection request, but no one's doing nothing afterwards, right? Well, you looked at your messaging. What kind of messaging you're sending out? Is it too salesy, right? Are you doing any kind of helping out people out on LinkedIn? Are you creating your own video content and are you boosting it? Are you using LinkedIn events, right? Are people looking for jobs hire me sometimes when they want to redo their profiles? Are you looking at LinkedIn groups? Are you looking at LinkedIn paid advertising? Right? All my stuff I have, I'm constantly updating it and making it relevant for 2023. So if you're interested in talking to me about all these things, I'll put this in the chat box. Here's my information. Here's my Calendly link. Here's some articles I've written. People, you can look at these over here. And now, the best part of what I do is I open this up for a Q&A on LinkedIn. I stop my share over here and I go to the people who are on here. Unmute yourself, please, and ask me any question you want. I'll try going through the questions in the chat box. Yes, Susan, I'm doing a recording over here. I'll be sent out afterwards, no problem at all. But if anybody have any questions specifically from LinkedIn, we went through the conversations, the topics I had today, unmute yourself. I'll be happy to answer anything for you. I know, Adrian, you had a couple of questions over here. Maybe just go into the chat box. But in the meantime, though, while I'm looking for that, anybody doing anything else here? Any questions-wise? Questions. So yeah, just ask me questions, please. Yeah, PMP class offerings for sure, Michael. Yeah, I see it also. If you want a professional management thing here. So questions? Yeah, just unmute yourself. Anything? Any thoughts at all? Anybody? I can't find the questions I had from here. Oh, here's a new question. Any tips on growing your
Alan?
networking? Yeah, considering your cap. Yeah, go ahead, Adrian. Yeah.
Adrian here. My question that's in the chat was, I've heard rumors that having a summary of like a blog article and then pointing it to your website is now a big no-no. What's your take on that?
So two different things. Number one, people have asked me, does having external links in your content on LinkedIn penalize your profile and or your post? The answer is no. I was actually on a call with a LinkedIn employee probably about a couple months ago, and I asked him that exact question, and he said no. So external links do not penalize your LinkedIn profile, LinkedIn content. It's a rumor and one of those myths over there. And Michael asked, any tips on growing your network considering the cap? Well, the cap is 30,000 as far as actual first connections, but when's the last time you cleaned your connections out, right? I've gone to people and the weekly cap. Are you talking about weekly cap of 100 people to send out connection requests? Okay, yes. I found a way of bypassing that. There are ways of bypassing that, but if you're getting 100 new connections on LinkedIn every single week, that's a lot of people. Actually, that's 400 new people every single month for you. It could possibly be, but you looked at beforehand. When's the time you cleaned your connection list on LinkedIn, right? I had a client who we cleaned their connection list and cleaned out people from China, right? So we just typed in China as far as locations and just cleaned all those people out. So yeah, people are afraid to clean out their connection list sometimes, but I'm not. If I find someone says a hard no, I will go to their let's say here accountant, let's say connections, or let's say first connections. I have accountants on here, my first connections. Let's say I go to Connor Garden here, and I asked Connor, and he said absolutely no. I'll simply go to share my screen. Probably not sharing my screen right now, am I? Let's share my screen again here. Share screen. So I'll go to someone on LinkedIn. I'll go to the more button, and I'll go remove connection, right? Because I have something called my rule 3. Will they either be my client? Will they send me clients or maybe a joint venture partner? Or will I do something else with them on LinkedIn? If the answer is no to all 3, then why have them on your profile as far as connection? There are no value to you, right? And yes, you want to have the numbers to show your authority, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But you can always, I could easily cut out, 100 people on LinkedIn who never do nothing at all, say they're retired, say they're nothing, whatever. I do that. I do that all the time. I'm consistently, always, and probably why I haven't gone over my 30,000 yet, although I'm probably going to from people following me pretty soon. But yeah, you need to clean out your list on LinkedIn on a regular basis. So hopefully that does that for you. But yeah, I mean, there really isn't. I mean, there are ways of going over the weekly cap on LinkedIn. There's software programs that'll do that for you. But yeah, you can always clean your list also. What's the next question, please? Anybody have any more questions here? Is anybody creating great content? What are your events on audio events versus Zoom on LinkedIn? Great question. What's that audio platform? I can't remember the name of it. That's on my phone. I could look it up if I wanted to. Just time and type it into the thing here. That audio platform people go very, very all about beforehand. I don't know. I like seeing people live. I get jazzed up at seeing people's faces and talking to people live on LinkedIn, but seeing them also. So, when's the last time you went on a audio event, Jodine, right? As opposed to a Zoom event. I think audio events are nice on LinkedIn. But I don't know, man. Raise your hand or unmute yourself for a second. How many of you guys have done audio events on LinkedIn? I've done one myself. That's it. One. Anybody? Jodine's answer your question, possibly? Yeah, a little flat. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I like Zoom events better because I can record them, the dynamic. You can do a slideshow. I can interact with people afterwards. I can see their faces. So yeah, what name is that platform I'm thinking about? The one I'm thinking about that they'd like to. Okay. I'd like to discuss how I can engage with you for my business consulting business. Sure, Ed. So once again, here is my contact information. Book a Zoom call with me, or why don't you even put your Zoom or calendar link inside the chat box. I'll be happy to book a meeting on your calendar to book a meeting with you. Anybody else have any questions here at all? So consulting business, okay. Anybody else have any questions at all here? I'll be happy to answer. I got another few minutes here before I got to jump off. What's one more question I can answer for you right now? Has anybody used their mobile application for LinkedIn? Your mobile app? Okay, I'm gonna give you away a great secret here. Remember I told you there's one thing on LinkedIn you can do for a great engagement, people who are not talking to you. So everybody go to your mobile phone, get out your phone for a second, go to your LinkedIn app if you have it on there, right? Go to your messaging. Come on, LinkedIn app. There it goes. This is gold, people. So messaging. So click on anybody's message at all. I'm going to click on from Scott Porter. So click on tap on the right a message box, and most people have you can speak and it types a message for you, speech text on there, and look at that little microphone icon on the right hand side. But above it is thank you there, Ed. Above it is a secondary microphone icon. Click on that secondary microphone icon, and I'm actually going to see this. Probably can't see this at all, but a little my green screen thing is on here. But anyways, a little blue circle comes on with a microphone on there. It's called LinkedIn Voice, and I probably got it on my profile somewhere. If you want to go to look at this over here. Oh, no, this one over here. Look at this activity. Here's my videos. So find a video on my LinkedIn videos here. I'll put it in the chat box here. Paste. Here's my videos. Find one called LinkedIn Voice. And LinkedIn Voice, wow, it gets engagement. People who normally wouldn't talk to you, leave them a voicemail and people will get back to you. I promise you. There you go, people. There's your $1,000 moment on the webinar today. I want to thank all of you for being here. Once again, the replay will go out later on today. As soon as I get it on my computer and doing all those things, I'll put it on my Google Drive folder and then put a link on there. You can watch it afterwards. Thank you so much. And if you want to talk to me, once again, here is my information about how to get a hold of me on LinkedIn. Let's book a call. Or before we drop off quickly, everybody just put on your calendar link on LinkedIn or on Calendly, whatever. I'll be happy to book a call with you. I'll leave this open for a few more minutes. Anybody who wants to talk to me can put on their calendar thing. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate it so much. Right, it's one of my best turnouts I've had in a couple of weeks here or a couple of months. My pleasure. Thank you so much. Thank you. God bless all of you, and you guys have a great day. Okay. Oh, great. Thank you, Jodine. I'll be happy to contact you on your calendar. Also, you can save the calendar thing here. Maybe I'll send it out here as far as notes goes. I know there's a little button on here you can click onto and save. Yeah, save chat. bottom right-hand side of the chat box, 3 buttons, save chat. I just saved it myself. Kelly, save chat. Everybody save chat before you drop off there. But I'll send the replay out and I'll send the chat box out also. Bye. Have a great Wednesday. Hump day. Yay. Bye-bye.